All right. Time to get to business. All right. Since a lot of you, um, after AMC, are like, what am I doing? And you made some money here and there. You held too long. You kind of got messed up and you're all confused. And you're scared somebody's going to touch you in the no touch zone. All right. Listen, it's the beginning of the year. Okay. And technically, the beginning of the year starts for me next week. So, this is what I am doing. Just telling you, do whatever you want to do. Okay, beginning of the year, I am setting aside. I'm gonna put it right here. You know what? Let me go down. Right here. I'm setting aside $5,000 for the first play. If you're telling me, Lou, I see it backwards. Life, brother. That's all I can tell you. All right. I'm going to get an OTC stock. I'm looking at a couple of them now based on certain criterias, and I'll explain whatever. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that 5,000. Based on the numbers I'm looking at, as far as the shares I'm going to get, I'll probably get around 40 to 50,000 shares around there of an OTC stock that is stacked in a position where it can grow. Is it going to go to the moon? Come on, we don't do that stuff. But what I'm looking at is if I could get in 10, 11, 12, 15 around there, based on the way that play is, I know it's going to have a little bit of a bump up. Why? Because the company already is doing things that are going to give me that bump. What kind of a bump am I looking for? I'm looking for about a 50 cents bump. Okay? So I'm looking for a 50 cents bump. All right. That 50 cents bump should put me in the next category where that 5,000, 40, 45,000 shares, 50,000 shares, is going to get me somewhere around 20, 22,000 in return. So let's just put here off the top of my head, 20,000. I'm just going to round things off to make it easier, okay? Now, yes, that 20,000, 5,000 of it is in there. Okay, so I do know that my original 5,000 lives inside that 20,000. That's why I'm going to go, I'm not putting in 20,000 on the next. No. I am going to put in their 15,000. Not the 5, I hold it to 50 cents, gives me around 20,000, and then I take my 5,000 back and I put in their 15 on another OTC play. Based on the numbers on that, if I take 15,000 and I put it in something, let's just choose a happy number, 12 cents. Let's say it's 12 cents. That gives me 125,000 shares. 125,000 shares of a stock at 12 cents. If it goes up to, let's just say, something simple, 30 cents. Now I have 37,500. Let's just round it off and let's just say 37. Okay, now I have 37,000. My 5 at 50 cents became 15. No, it became 20, but I took my 5 back. Now this is house money. Now this house money now made me the 37,000. Now you may be saying, Lou, what do you do? What I do, what you do are two different, scenarios. I could look at that 37,000 and go, I'm taking that 7,000 and I'm adding it back to my original 5,000. So I've taken profit. So now that 5,000 originally that I put in and took out, that 5,000 now has 7,000 to hang out with. So now what am I doing for the next play? What I'm doing for the next play is I'm putting 30,000 on the next play because I got 30. 5 at 50 cents was really 20. I took out 5 to get my money back. Now I got 15. 15 gets me 30. If I just hold it to 30 cents at 125,000 shares. Okay, so now let's say now that 30,000, I turn around and let's say find another happy stock. Let's just say 12 cents. Let's just say that's it, whatever, 12 cents. That's 250,000 shares of a stock, okay? So 250,000 shares, let's just say I hold that to 30 cents. 75,000. You and I both know that 5,000, that could cover a lot of coffee and, some lunches and other stuff. So I'm going to take that 5,000 out of the 75. I'm going to put it to live with the 7,000 that I took off of the 20, and then put it to live next to my original 5. So what do I got left? I got 70,000 to put into the next play. Now keep in mind, my 5,000 plus the 5,000 I took from the 7,000 I took from here. So now I got those two motherfuckers, they're living together. And now I just shaved 5,000 off of this. Okay? So now I got $17,000 profit on the side, but that 70,000, it's gonna go to work for me. Now I find a happy stock at 12 cents, whatever. And I say, Mr. Stock, I have 70,000 and let me see how much I get. So now I got 583,333. Let's just round things off to make it easier. 580,000 shares of something. So 580,000 shares. Let's say I just hold that, let's say 30 cents. That's 174,000. Now you and I both know I'm OCD. I got to clean up the numbers. That 174,000, that 74,000 is going into the piggy bank. It's going into the piggy bank with my 5, with my 7, and with the other 5. Okay? So now I got a good stack in my piggy bank safe put aside. Okay? So now I got 100 grand. Okay? I got 100 grand that I'm ready to put to work. Okay? 550 was 20, took 5. Okay, that 15 became 37, took the 7. Okay, put that 30 to work, made me, 75? I took 5, put it down here. Now I got that 70. That 70 cooked up, gave me 174-ish, whatever. I took $70,000 in profit. Now I got 100,000 to work with. That 100,000, now I go find another 12-cent stock. It could be 15, it could be 20, whatever. But let's say 12 cents. Okay, so now that is 833,333 shares. Let's just say 800,000 shares. So now the 800,000 shares, let's say I hold it for 30 cents. That's $240,000. And you know and I know 240 sounds kind of complicated for me. I'm taking 40 off the top. And guess what? I'm putting 200 to work for me. Well, see, this is the crazy thing. If now I'm at the 200 to work, okay, and I put aside probably about 100 grand skimming off the top of my profits, but I still got money to work. That means that by the summertime, I should have $200,000 ready to go to work for me in my brokerage with about 100 grand sitting on the side. Do you understand that? Follow the bouncing ball. You don't have to be all over the place. What I do in the beginning of the year, like right now, is I identify some stocks at very low price that have the momentum. I don't hope for $72. No, I hope for 30 cents, 50 cents. But if you start out with 5,000, you hold up to 50 cents, you get 20,000 if you get around that range, somewhere around there, and you continue. But you take off the top always to take care of yourself. Remember, I always said you should be paid a salary to trade stocks. That's how it is. Just don't have an employer. That's a different story. Taxes don't work for you. You continue doing, I'm going to be doing it with you guys. I'm going to be doing it myself. I'm going to say I put 5,000 in this and this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to let it run up. And when it gets to this, I'm out. I'm safe. Why? Because my plan includes safety and profits and growth. Okay? Now, let's say I got 200 grand in the summertime. You're like, Lou, what are you going to do? No, I'm not going to do the lambada. You see this 5,000 down here? Well, what I'm going to do, if the economy holds up, 2 seconds. What I'm going to do with that $200,000, because remember, I already took profit from it. So it's 200,000 clean. And for people, what about taxes? I'll deal with the government in April. You don't work for the IRS. When it comes time, I go there with my entire transaction statement, and the accountant turns around and goes, okay, how much did you put in? How much did you make? How much did you lose? And then that's left up to a tax professional. So for people to go, oh, well, I don't know about, what the fuck out of here. That doesn't matter. Here we go. Remember that 5,000 that started the journey? Well, now I got $2,000 to start the journey. Now here's where it gets interesting. That 200,000, if I get myself, let's say a 20-cent stock, whatever, just change the numbers around. Okay, and that 20-cent stock gives me 1 million shares. So 1 million shares, and let's say I just hold it for 20 cents. Sorry, is that 20 cents? I hold it for, let's say I hold it for, 20 more cents. Let's say I hold it to 40. Okay, that's 200 grand. So now, of course, my 200 grand, do I turn around and take it and put it in my bank? Nah, I'll cut it in half. But I'm going to put 300 grand now. So I remember, I got 200 grand now. But now, I'm not going to take the original thing back because why? This is all house money. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 300 grand now. I'm going to take 300 grand because my 200, I doubled it, 200. Okay, I take this, I split it. I put 100,000 back in the bank. I take 100,000, put it on the two, and now all of a sudden, I got 300 grand. 300 grand. I find myself a 20-cent stock, OTC. I got 1.5 million shares. 1.5 million shares. And let's say I hold that thing 25 cents. That's 375,000. You know how I feel about rounding numbers off. That's 75,000. That sucker's coming back home to me. Now I got 300 grand, okay, out of the 300 grand that I already had. So that 300 grand, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take half of that, the 150, okay? So now I'm going to put in 450,000. Let's see if I get it correctly. 300 grand, I cooked it up, the million shares. That gave me 375. Okay, let me make sure I said that correctly. It's a long night. Okay, so we got the 200. They gave me the 1.5 million shares. And let's say I hold that. I said 25, right? Yeah, 1.5 million. All right, the 375. So I take the 75. I chop my original amount. I move it forward, and I continue hunting it. The end goal is to get at the end of the year if you start out with that amount, you continue, you're honest with yourself, you take profits, then you start growing. The end goal is to get to about 500K. Okay, now, if you're smart, if you don't get vaporized, if you don't get greedy, if you follow the simple thing where you scalp and you continue to grow the money, if you get that money around August, September, October, you might be able to take that money, okay, and hit something, once again, 25 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, like some of the plays we did today. Imagine if you had $350,000 available today for Bed Bath & Beyond to run a scalp. You see what I'm saying to you? That's how it is. That is my 2023 going forward. You want to know how people do it from the old days? That's it. Nobody was ever in Wall Street screaming, YOLO, this is it, we're going to the moon. That doesn't exist. That's crazy talk. But what does exist, put in, run, take out, put your profits back, continue running, hit. And you're like, Lou, but how do I know which plays? I'll try to put out as many as I can. I'm not tied to any of these companies. At the end of the day, this is what I'm doing. You do what you're going to do. But understand something. These plays, some days I wake up and there's nothing for me to do. Sometimes there's plays that are running. I'm like, that's not for me. That's not for me because my day is busy. I got to take care of things. I don't feel good. I can't watch it. And guess what? That's not for me. That's just life. You just got to do that. But if you follow a simple plan and you hit, not hold, and take your money, and remember, the number one thing, you know why I have these lines here? You know why I have these lines? Those lines are my floors. I don't fuck around with my floor. If I see my investment dropping to the point where it's going to go underneath my floor, as a matter of fact, I even leave money on top. So my floor always has a buffer. So this way I'm covered. I've gotten out of many plays I just got into because it started to drop, but I had that little buffer. I'm like, oh, yo, that's it. Maybe I made $150. But guess what? It's better than losing freaking 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever. And for people like, no, but I've lost on this and I've lost on that. I'm showing you how, even if you got more than other plays, how you can decide your stock and how you can follow a plan and hit, never hold. That's how you can do it. You choose whatever you're going to do. I'm going to be public with my thing because I'm tired of people like, oh, yeah, we'll play. I'm going to show you. I'm going to hit the plays and I'm going to continue doing it. And guess what? I'm going to work it like a freaking farmer. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to dig a hole. I'm going to put a seed in the ground. I'm going to put some dirt over the seed. I'm going to give it some water. And then if a rabbit comes by, I'm going to hit him with a rock. Just at the end of the day, I'm going to protect that seed. But guess what? The seed becomes a plant. Then you take half of that plant, put it in the ground, and you continue going. I know everybody wants to the moon. And guess what? I'm going to say something now that's going to get your toes tingly. What happens if one of those plays that I'm holding to 25 cents, 30 cents goes up to $1.65? Then now that 500, this guy here that I'm anticipating hitting it around summertime, I might hit it in April. So what does that do? It moves up my money agenda. But then in October, that might be a financial crisis. And guess what? That pushes back my money agenda. But I am flexible. Why? Because along the way, I was putting money on the side. There you go. Wine lounge or coffee break? I'll probably do coffee in a few. Shine love. I hope that helps you. Get ready, because next week I start doing this in front of you. Okay? I'm just moving some money. I'm emptying out one of my brokerage accounts. So this way it's a clean 5,000. I hit. That's how I do. You do whatever you want to do. If you want to do your own thing with $500, do it with $5. You want to do it with $100, you do it. You do whatever you want to do, or don't do anything and just learn. That's all you have to do. Just learn. You know, that's all it is. Anybody can go in front of a house and go, you know, I bought this building and I flipped it and I got 310. Yeah, okay, wait, whatever. But they don't show you how it is to sit down with a bank guy and in a sense structure a good deal in order to get that home a little bit down and how he's financing it. They don't tell you all those freaking things. I'm telling you. Next week, I'm throwing 5,000 into play. I'm gonna cook it to around 20 something, 20,000. I'm gonna take a profit. I'm gonna put 15 or so to hunt for me. That 15 is gonna get me my 30 something. And then I'm gonna take profit and let the 30 go up and continue. There you go. See? There you go. Done. Done.